Now, the weather for South Mississippi with meteorologist Carrie Duncan.
Well, good evening, South Mississippi. We are seeing a wintry mess. Here's a look at the forecast through the overnight hours. By 6 o'clock, we're thinking about 28 degrees. By 9, 26. Basically, the general trend is the temperatures are going to continue to plummet. 22 by 7 o'clock, and we are going to be seeing sleet and snow, and that should change over somewhere around the 9 or 10 o'clock hour to snow. And it looks like the National Weather Service is calling for the snow to stick around, especially along our coastal areas through the morning hours. We're still thinking that we might see some snow, some at least flurries, maybe some pockets of heavier snow through the overnight hours. We do have a hard freeze warning, so the sleet and snow is going to accumulate. In fact, it's already accumulating. We've gotten a lot of pictures of sleet accumulating, and that sleet and the slush that's out there now is going to freeze tonight, so it's going to be very dangerous. You need to be very careful as you perhaps walk outside, if you have to take your animals out, or you're going out to maybe try to check the mailbox because you didn't get to that before. Well, you're going to possibly slip and fall, so just be very careful. The ice is going to remain into Wednesday. Our high temperature only about 35 degrees, and it looks like we're not going to get above freezing until about 2 o'clock, so we're not going to have very long to see any of that melt, and anything that does melt, the water that remains is going to refreeze Wednesday night. So you need to make those hard freeze preparations. Your pipes will freeze inland, so you definitely need to have them wrapped. Hopefully you already have that done, and if not wrapped, and I would also suggest letting your water drip, because that is a safe way to at least keep the water running through it. Now, here's what we're looking at is potentially snowfall up to 5 inches in George County, but we're seeing icing possibly up to 3/4 of an inch. Along our coastal counties, we're looking at icing up to a 1/2 inch. Now, we've already had reports of ice accumulating on power lines. If you get a lot of ice accumulating, that is bad news, and it's going to possibly bring down power lines. So it's again a good idea to remind you now, if you do see a down power line, stay away from it. Call your local power company, because more than likely those power lines could still be live. We are going to see up to an inch along our 3 coastal counties of snow accumulating. Here's a look at that satellite and radar imagery. You'll notice that all the moisture pretty much moving from west to east. We've still got a lot more moisture to our west. Generally, this line is slowly sinking south, but we do still have a good bit of moisture back to our west. There's a low pressure system out in the Gulf, and that's continuing to pump this moisture in, and it's just feeding this system, and the cold air is turning all of that moisture into a wintry mess for us. 26 right now at Bay St. Louis, 26 in Boomtown Casino, Biloxi on Back Bay, 26 also in downtown Pascagoula at Navigator Credit Union, and 22 in Lucedale. Look at what it feels like, though. It feels like 14 degrees in Lucedale. When those winds pick up, it feels very cold. We are going to continue to see this staying with us through at least the evening hours. Now, as we were just showing, it does look like we're going to be seeing some of the snow flurries at least, and some of the snow sticking around, especially along the coast, until the morning hours. Now, this is a live look from our IP Casino Resort and Spa Tower Cam. Hard to see anything because it's frozen over. That's why I'm showing it to you. Hancock Bank and Gulfport, you can see some of the sleet and accumulating on the top of the buildings here, and then also our Edgewater Mall Tower Cam atop Beauview condominiums. Hard to tell the difference between the snow and then the sleet, but we are seeing some sleet accumulating as well along the beaches. You can stay connected, of course, with our free WLOX weather app and our news app. That will give you all of the road closings and school closings and business closings as well. 22 degrees though tonight, sleet and snow and dangerous roads. Do not get out on the roads unless you absolutely have to. There is a small craft advisory, of course, in effect with very high winds and rough seas. Here's a look at the next 7 days. We do see that 50% chance of showers through at least the early part of the day tomorrow, and it looks like it's going to be snow showers at that, and then a 20% chance coming back in on Friday. But look at that, guys. 34 for the high tomorrow, and then 23 for the overnight low, but then we're back near 70 in just a few days.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Thanks, Carrie.